Hey, Disney cruisers, and welcome back to the DCL community where we are here to help you plan, prepare for, and get excited for your Disney cruise. You guys know me. My name's Rebecca, and I'm your host and admin of the DCL community. And today I'm so excited to offer something a little bit different for Disney cruisers, right? I hear you loud and clear, especially over this past itinerary release. Disney cruisers, you love the experience of Disney Cruise Line. You love the service, the attention to detail, and the quality, but you're looking for something a little bit different. Maybe you've done all the rotational dining, you've done the pirate shows, and you want a different experience. And that is exactly what we're going to be talking about today. So as you're coming in, let us know if you've ever gone to Croatia before, because I know I haven't, but it's at the top of my bucket list with Alaska. But Hunter, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, and then we'll dive in from there?
Yeah, of course. Hi, guys. My name is Hunter. I am a concierge travel agent with Jayco Travel. I've been doing this for over 9 years now. And while Disney Cruise Line is my specialty, I just really love the whole maritime industry as a whole. And I'm really excited to bring you a super unique, once in a lifetime bucket list trip via private chartered yacht in Croatia. So I am here with CEO Michael Gelber of iWorld of Travel, and we're going to share this incredible experience with you and hope that you will join us. Michael, do you want to do a quick introduction?
You did a great job. Michael Gelber, CEO, iWorld of Travel. We've been around since 1967, so 55 years in business. We have offices around the world, and one of the offices we have is in Croatia, which is near and dear to our heart. It's a beautiful country. I always describe it as Italy and Greece had a child, and that became Croatia. So you get the best of all of Europe in one place, and you get the beautiful coastline. So, we've been doing the charter programs out there for 4 years. We've done about 120 charters, small luxury ships, 15 to 19 cabins. And we're just excited to team up with Hunter in putting together a program for next September in Croatia to cruise the beautiful ports, the beautiful cities, the people, the food, the wine, the olive oils. It's pretty exciting. I tell everybody, you just don't know until you go what it really is like. And so we're
Yeah,
excited.
that's so true. So, Jayco, our agency, has done, I think, about 5 charters between Croatia and Greece over the last couple years. And it is an experience that our clients keep talking about. One that they always say, like, you have to do it. It's so worth the time, the money, the investment, the experience. Like, it is something that you just can't explain until you've done it. And as somebody who really loves the service, attention to detail of Disney Cruise Line, this is even better. You have exclusivity, private chef, you have your crew, you're on a yacht with only, this one will be approximately 36 passengers. So it is very small, very intimate, and you're being catered to. You'll be hosted by me, and then you have the cruise director and iWorld and the yacht crew that's family owned, family run, all of these people looking after you, making sure that every part of your trip is fantastic and that you have a once in a lifetime experience, like the best time of your life. So, we're gonna just kind of walk you through this, what it's going to look like. But as Michael mentioned, it is this. Opportunity is going to be September 2025. It will be for 8 nights total, one pre-night stay in Dubrovnik, Croatia, and then 7 nights on the yacht. So we'll do a quick overview of the itinerary and inclusions. We will do any questions that you answer, any questions that you may have, and just really highlight everything that we know you're going to love about this trip.
Let's dive
Like,
in. And do you need me to zoom in on this at all, or are you good to go? You probably
No, Michael does a great job going through this itinerary with all of his experience and love for Croatia. So I will let him go through that, and then we will highlight everything that's included.
so,
awesome.
listen, you did a great job. I think you should be working on this line next time. Did terrific. So, listen, it is a terrific experience, and really, Hunter has paid a lot of attention to all the details, which we love. We love working with somebody who pays attention and is really serving the clients because that's what really our focus is. We wear our servants' towel loud and proud, and we're here to serve not only the travel advisor but the passengers that are going, because we want their experience to be something that they carry back with them long after they return from Croatia. So just a real quick overview. The cruise itself is 7 nights. We smartly, Hunter included one previous night as well, so it's 8 nights. You'll start out in Dubrovnik. You'll stay in Dubrovnik for 1 night, have that experience, and then you board the ship. You'll have your welcome dinner on the ship, and then you'll have your walking tour, this is what's really nice. In every port that we go into, you'll have about a 1-hour walking tour. And what this is really about is to give you some history background and also some familiarization on how to navigate through it, because it's kind of fun to explore, right? We love things that are structured, but we also love having a hybrid concept where we got structure and we have freedom. And so that is really what this provides in a private environment. So it's different, the sailings, than it would be on a Disney cruise. And by the way, I do love Disney cruises as well. It is over the top fantastic. We've done a couple of them, but it's different where they sail at night, we sail during the day. So the sailings typically, a typical sailing, you'll leave about 7 in the morning, you'll take off, and everything you're doing is along the coastline, with the exception on this route where you're going out to Vis, which is where Mamma Mia was filmed. Everything you'll see islands. There's 1,200 islands in Croatia. So even though you only see the mainland and a few islands outside, there are another 1,000 islands that you'll be passing, small ones, large ones, medium ones. It's just very much like Greece up in the Adriatic. So it's really, it's beautiful. I love, my favorite time is getting up there in the morning where nobody else is up there at 6:37, having my coffee and watching the sunrise as I'm looking at the landscape and seeing the islands, and I'm seeing a little castle and a baby island that you can rent out. So that's what the pleasure of it is. So you'll have breakfast in the morning, and then typically you'll have a swim stop. So there's so many beautiful coves. These ship captains have been doing this for many, many years, 3 or 4 generations. So we find these beautiful coves and we get to do a swim stop. After the swim stop, you'll then have lunch, and you'll go on to getting closer to your next port. In this particular case, we're going from Dubrovnik to Šipen. You'll have another swim stop in the afternoon, and then you'll get in late afternoon, probably 4 o'clock. You'll do a little walking tour, and then you're free to roam. You're free to roam. And as long as you're back on the ship by 7 a.m. the next morning, you're good. 7:01, you're not so good. 7, you're okay. So that's really the trick. And so from here, you then go to Miet. Miet is, again, to talk about these islands, Miet is a beautiful little quaint island that has a little monastery in the middle of the lake. It really, it's interesting to see. I can tell you, one of the times I was there, and there's also a path that goes around the lake. So you can either do bike riding while you're there or go walking. So this one time that I was there, I'm walking with my wife, and all of a sudden I see like 12 nuns that are coming towards me. So of course I had to make sure I was still here, right? I wasn't someplace else. They just came from the monastery. It's an active monastery that you can actually take a little boat over to it and really enjoy and experience it. So that's the kind of surprises that you get when you're traveling along the coastline, because you don't know what to expect. After you go to Miet, you'll go to Korčula. Korčula is the founding place of Marco Polo, and what we have when you get into, again, same thing, morning sailing, swim stop, have lunch on the ship, 3-course meal, then have another swim stop, and you'll stop in Korčula. And we have the walking tour there, and we have it with Marco Polo's mistress. This is the only location that we have her in character, which obviously it works well for Disney because we love people in character. And she goes through as if she's Marco Polo's mistress and explains to you the whole history and takes you through the castle. Just a really wonderful experience for about an hour. And then you're free to roam through Korčula. Beautiful with the castles and the fortresses. It's almost surreal, like you've almost gone back into a fairy tale land, right? And then from Korčula, again, it just gets better. You head over to Vis, and Vis is where, beautiful little island where they did Mamma Mia, and you also have the Blue Caves. So the Blue Caves are a really unique experience that will take the little boats off of our ship, and you get to go through the Blue Caves. And again, I'm not going to go into great detail, but it's a stunning experience. You get back on, and then you get into Hvar. Swim stop into Hvar. Hvar, as you come into the harbor, it's one of the most beautiful harbors you'll come into. You've got the Elizabeth Palace Hotel. You've got the castle at the very top. You've got all the shops and the restaurants and the bars. And again, you're off on your own at 4:30 in the afternoon. And as long as you're back on the ship by 7, listen, it's Hunter's charter. So she could say, listen, we're going to be here till 8 this morning, right? We want to give people a little extra time. And then we take off and we go on to our next breakfast, swim stop, lunch, swim stop, and then we come into Trogir. cute. Again, it's hard to make each one of these sound different, but they are all unique for their own history and their own style. But Trogir is again another little quaint town with the little cobblestone streets and the little restaurants and the pubs and the bars, and it just allows you to relax. In Trogir, they have a soccer field right as you pull it. You see it right there on the coast. A soccer field between two fortresses. Well, my son is a huge soccer player. They won state cup in California. So we had three families on the ship with us, and we had a number of club soccer players. So I was able to rent this out. If you can imagine, in the middle of the afternoon, we've got the boys playing against all the parents in between two fortresses and a soccer field. And again, it's just that experience. We have a hashtag, and it's a tattoo and something I live by. It's die with memories, not dreams. We really believe that, I believe this, that the greatest heartache any of us can experience is regret. And so anything we can do to encourage and motivate people to go now, not wait till tomorrow, don't wait till next week. Now is the time to take action, because you just don't know. This is what we're about, because we believe memories are the most important things you can carry with you and the people you travel with. And then you go from Trogir and you end up in Split, the second largest city in Croatia, full of vibrancy, full of so many options. It's one of my favorite locations is Split. And again, the walking tour, and then you're free to roam. There's several Michelin restaurants there in Dubrovnik. And again, there's wine tasting in Korčula. We could also arrange wine tasting in some of the wineries off in the farms overlooking the lake in the backside. There's mussel farms experience you can do. There's zip lining they have in certain areas. So it's chock full of life. You're cruising on your own private ship, which is surreal in itself. You've got a pool on there, you got a jacuzzi on there, you got a workout upstairs, you've got the decks, and you're seeing the coastline, and then you just pop into these random ports and have the time of your life and go back to your ship and go on and do what you wish. So again, it's easy to describe it with excitement, but you feel it and understand it when you're out there. And 50% of the people that travel out there with our agents and charters arrange to go back with friends and family of their own and do the experience. So it's that kind of an experience that people want to continue to share it with others. And that's why it's become such a popular location and why we've done 120 charters in less than 3 years.
Oh, that is so impressive. And I love that idea of getting that time to experience the ports, because I know that's something that a lot of cruisers, they want to travel, they want to see the world, but when you only get 5, 6, maybe 7 hours at a port, you really can't experience the culture, the local food, and what it has to offer. And this allows you to spend a full evening. You can experience the nightlife. You can go to a concert or a show. I love that idea. And somebody's asking, is this only for adults, or are kids allowed too?
So
As of now, this charter is adult exclusive. But there is opportunity to have families on these charters. But the specific sailing we're discussing as of now is planned to be adult exclusive.
Yeah, I threw it out there. I had my kids on there. Sorry about that.
No, you're good. No, there's absolutely
Yeah.
And if the dates don't work and somebody wanted to charter a ship on different dates with their friends and family, like it's just something that you would need to reach out to me with. Rebecca will be putting my contact information in the comments, and we will share it at the end as well. So this specific one, no. Is it possible? Yes. One thing that we get asked a lot is, I'm traveling in a group where, with you're hosting us, it's your group, but can you customize it? And absolutely, yes. So, of course, we're all on the yacht together during the day sailing, but you can go off and do your own thing in the evening. We can plan an excursion for you, reservations at dinner, or you can just go explore the town. You are not required to stay with a whole group of 36 people the entire trip. This is actually very customizable. So I did want to share that as well. As you can see, like there's so much to love about Croatia, from the history, the landscapes, the people, and the culture itself. Like it's somewhere that if it's not on your bucket list, it should be. This is seriously a whole experience, a whole vibe. And one of the reasons that I think like Disney cruisers specifically will love this experience, is because it is so service minded. As Michael talked about, like they always have their service cap on. I always have my service cap on. The crew, of course, like they want their guests to have an amazing time. They want you to feel, spoiled. When you're happy, they're happy, right? So just the service is top notch. And a lot of us feel the same exact way about Disney. That's why we've been on so many, Rebecca and I, 28 Disney cruises in. And it's because of the service and the crew. And that is something that translates to these private yachts as well. It's all about the service, the crew, and the experience. And this beautiful, unique destination too. So like I really want to just impress upon this once in a lifetime experience and the service. So do we have any questions in the chat, Rebecca, or we need to keep going?
The only other one that's here so far is just about seasickness. I'm used to sailing on Disney. Would I need to be concerned about seasickness on a smaller boat?
No, that's a great question. We get that question asked all the time, and we host obviously advisors as well that have those questions. It's not an issue. They have the double stabilizers on them, and again, they're cruising along the coast, so you're always seeing land. You're not out at sea. You're not out in the open ocean. It's the Adriatic. It's along the coast. You're probably 1,000 feet from the coastline 90% of the time. They go 7 knots is the speed that we travel, 7-8 knots, which is very slow, very smooth. It's a beautiful experience. And, like Hunter was saying, there's a lot of what the captains provide. These are all family owned ships. That's what's so beautiful about this. And there's a tremendous amount of pride in sharing their country and to sharing their style and their food and their family as well. It's not unusual on each one of these ships to have the captain be the husband, the wife would be, maybe a sous chef. Maybe the daughter is also in hospitality. They've been doing it all their life. This is what they trained for, and this is what they love to do. They love to host. And so you feel like you're part of a family. And even on the ship with 36 people, there are so many areas on the ship that you could have 10 people in one area, another 10 people someplace else. So even on the ship, you don't always have to be together between the pool, the jacuzzi, and working out, and the sun deck. It really provides everything. You got breakfast and lunch included every day. You've got a welcome dinner. You've got the captain's dinner, which we always like to do as a white party. So everybody's getting all dressed up in white for a beautiful sunset picture on the bow. It includes the walking tours, as we're talking about. It includes the transfers the day of from the hotel to the ship, from the ship back to the hotel. So it really is very thoughtful, very thought out, so that you just get to come there, figure out where your cabin is, and you are there just to enjoy yourself. Let us take care of you.
That's amazing. I know we talked about some of the things. There's so much included on this list. So if you're interested, definitely get in touch with Hunter. I will get the link to her page on the DCL community site in the comments for everybody. But there's so much that is included on this list. And oh gosh, it's just the service that you guys, I think I might need to go to Croatia. I don't know.
So I know this is going to be like a popular question. So I do want to talk about that, is the pricing. So obviously, like, this is a once in a lifetime experience and the value is incredible. Most people don't believe it when I tell them, but we are doing this for approximately $7,400 per couple. Or it doesn't have to be a couple. When I say couple, I just mean per 2 people. It can be mother, daughter, girlfriends, coworkers, siblings, spouses. I'm just saying per cabin, per 2 people. It's just under $7,400, and that includes the pre-night stay, transfers from the airport to the hotel, hotel to port, and then port back to airport. The 7 nights on the yacht, 2 dinners, your breakfast and lunches on the yacht, your port expenses, and lost my train of thought.
It's okay. You're doing
The
a great job.
prosciutto. What else did we
Well, yeah,
do?
we provide a whole prosciutto and teach you how to slice it when it comes with the bread and the olive oil and the olives sitting there throughout the entire cruise. It's a fantastic. Again, it's just hard to, words are easy to use, right? But to actually touch it, feel it, and be there, it just says it all. And it is with any vacation, right? Even before I went on a Disney cruise, my first question to my wife was, "There's no casino?" But when I got on there, like, thank goodness there wasn't, because it was such a great experience. From the service to the attention to detail to the food to the kids' activities to the adult opportunities. So Croatia provides that same kind of attention to detail to ensure that they've covered all the bases, and we make sure we've done. Listen, we've been doing this since 1967, serving the travel community. So we think we know how travelers like to be treated and how they like to travel.
I was gonna say, it sounds like, and Hunter, you know so much about sailing concierge on board Disney Cruise Line, but it sounds like this is that elevated experience where every touch matters and you're really getting that cultural experience with that attention to detail that just makes it so special.
Yes. So on the slide, Rebecca, I just want to show a few of the pictures of the ship.
Yeah.
Also, just to mention that the yacht that we would be on was completely refurbished like the winter. So right before this sailing season, she was brand new in May, and that is an amazing feature. So you can kind of see on the screen the deck layout. So there's 3 decks. You can choose a lower cabin or an upper cabin, and the cabins will be selected and secured on a first come, first served basis. But really, all the cabins are great. You're not going to spend that much time in there, anyways, but they're all fantastic. Rebecca, if you could go to the next slide for me.
Oh my gosh.
So here's just a few pictures. You can see that Aventura sailing along the coastline. And you know how Michael talked about, we're very close to the coast. It's kind of what you would see in this picture. So that's why the motion, most people are not bothered by it like at all. But if you are, don't worry, I'll have my Mary Poppins bag of remedies, and we can get ginger apples, whatever you need. But really, most people that are concerned about it end up saying, like, no, I don't have any problems. Of course, there is the one off where there could be a storm, but again, it's not likely in the season that we're going.
One other thing, while you're at this picture, if you see the back of the ship there, that's where you'll be spending a lot of time going into the water for your swim stops. And if you see the second deck, that's a spot you'll see a lot of people jumping off to go into the water to have that experience. So it brings back so many memories looking at this. It's really fun.
Yeah. And one thing I wanted to mention about the swim stops that's like of special inclusion for you guys is that we will have the inflatable island and 2 sea bobs included for everybody to enjoy at our swim stops, which are 1 to 2 daily.
Awesome. So good to know. And I know that some people might have a little bit apprehension, going on a trip with other people, but you still have plenty of space to spread out and do your own thing, but it's also a great chance to really make like unique connections with new friends. Because I know that's one of my favorite parts about Disney cruising. It's meeting people from all around the world. So
yeah,
this capitalizes on that.
The charter guests always leave like with new bonds, new friendships forming, and it's not uncommon to see them traveling together again.
Well, Rebecca, it's funny you just say that, because when we did our first educational fam trip, right? The first one we did in September of 21, our writer, she's from Nat Geo, she coined a blog called 30 Perfect Strangers. And so it is exactly what it is. 30 Perfect Strangers. We're now in season 9 when we do that, because it's just what we have found that people do. They come there not knowing each other, and they leave best friends, not even friends with the people that they meet, but the crew as well. I can't tell you how many people that are still friends with the crew on Facebook, on Instagram, and still sharing stories, still meet each other when they go back. It really creates that kind of a vibe. I say the Croatians they're very nice people, but it's not because they're acting nice. They just are nice people. They just are gracious hosts, and they want you to experience the love of the land and the people and everything that comes from it. It's a special experience. It really is.
Yes, I was going to say, I feel like Croatia is just a hidden gem, and the Europeans have been traveling there, and, the US, we're finally catching up. And like you're saying, this is definitely a bucket list trip, because you think you can only see that blue of water in the Caribbean, but look at it. This just looks amazing. I know we have people who are part of the DCL community from around the world. Is this open to anybody, or is it just US citizens?
No, it is open to anybody.
Awesome. Love that. Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me? Look at that.
I
Yeah.
know. Can't you just see yourself sitting up there enjoying like a drink as you sail by these beautiful destinations and islands and just taking the landscapes and the views with new friends, and then you get to stop and go have a great evening ashore.
It
This
is.
just looks
It's fun.
perfect. Oh my
I've
gosh.
been, yeah. You can see the cabins have really been uh, just updated very nicely, very
Yeah, they're
comfortable. We got good spacing.
beautifully redone.
Oh my gosh, these are, and like you were saying before, the attention to detail. I mean,
Hmm.
this is a quality experience, and
Yes.
that you can just tell. Oh my gosh, that detail. It's stunning. It is stunning. Oh my gosh.
More hangout spots. Um,
Yes.
So that's just some brief pictures of the ship. Anybody that sends me an email, I can send you the full brochure as well as a walkthrough of the ship and a video of the updates. We're happy to share that. Um, but a couple of things I want to talk or hit on, especially some frequently asked questions. If you see my face disappear, it's because we're improvising and I'm doing this from my phone. So I'm just going to pull up another screen and it says I'm off camera when I do that. But like I mentioned, this trip is once in a lifetime, an incredible, unique, exclusive experience for $7,400 per couple. And we love that. Um, you will never find, seriously, an experience like this, not easily. Again, not to mention also being hosted. Um, and that's a unique factor of this trip because you don't only have the crew and iWorld looking after you, but you have me and I'm going to be there with you. And then also the cruise directors are incredible. So while I pull up the questions, I'm just going to share a little story with you from last season. One of our agents did a charter, and what happens on vacation? Life happens. And what happens in life? People get ill, right? People get sick. One of her guests did get ill, and the cruise director got them off the boat to shore with one of her, took them to be seen by a doctor, got their prescription, and got them back on board. Like that is service. That is the attention to detail you want. You are not going to get there and be left to, you know, just fend for yourself. Like that's not how this works. You really are spoiled and taken care of.
And they didn't get sick from the ship, by the way. They had had
No.
some previous illness that had re-flared up, and they needed to get some medication for it.
Yeah, that's an important distinction to make for
Yeah,
sure.
I want to throw
But
that out
just
there.
having that service and care from, the cruise director on the ship and the agent really being there and caring about your experience, your well-being, making sure everything is going as smoothly as possible, even when things that we can't control happen.
Yeah, the
You are
cruise director.
so invested in the success of the vacation and making sure everybody has a great time because you want everybody to come back. And maybe you all, all 30 something cabins, you all do it again next year. There's just, those bonds that you form. There's something special.
It is. I mean, listen, not travel just isn't about where you go, but it is also who you go with and then those relationships you make. And that's what you want. Life is about, getting out. It's not staying behind closed doors. It's about experiencing the world and the people in the world and realizing how much commonality we all have and how much we all want the same things. And we just want to enjoy life, just want to have a good laugh. We want, listen, I saw this quote from Clint Eastwood the other day, and it talked about luxury. It said, luxury isn't what you buy. Luxury is what you get. It's the laugh you get. It's the time you spend with your children. It's your parents being around. That's what luxury is. Luxury isn't the outside of the book, right? It's what's on the inside of the book that you gain from things. So it doesn't matter the car, the boat, the house you're in. That's not luxury. It's what you get to carry with you. And I thought it was. I didn't do a great job of paraphrasing it, but the point was that luxury is from within. It's not from without.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Oh my gosh. And Hunter, you said you have a couple of FAQs that people are asking.
Yeah, so one of the most important is like when do we need to book by? So as soon as possible. These cabins are on a first come, first served basis. And To confirm your spot on the charter, we would need a booking form filled out, which I would send via email when somebody reaches out to me. It is a non-refundable deposit of $1,000 per person. If the charter were to not fill up and therefore cannot proceed, you will not be charged $1,000 person deposit, but we need you to, send that to lock in your place. Another one is, do we have to bring a spouse? And I know I covered this, but no, you can bring your sister, your mom, friends, coworkers, etc. And we also have 2 triple cabins for groups of 3, maybe 3 best friends, 3 sisters, 3 brothers, whatever. So keep that in mind as well. Is this adults only? And yes, this specific charter is adults exclusive. Where do we need to fly into? Flights will be into Dubrovnik and out of Split. Will I help with the flights? And the answer is yes, absolutely. We will be creating a private group for this sailing, and I will have a flight tracker on everybody's departure airport that books, and we'll be posting the flights as I get the notifications to keep everybody updated on the pricing and airline availability. How much should I bring for tipping? So this is at your discretion. We Europeans don't tip as aggressively as we do in America, but the crew should be tipped generously. We will send a tip guide, but about $275 per person for the crew. If you would love to add more, of course, that's always appreciated. And then I always say like bringing cash of like $5 to $10 for meals and just having some cash on you for like the small stands. But otherwise, your onboard like bar tab. And also, most of the restaurants do take like the major Visa, MasterCard, credit cards. And then, is this trip customizable? And yes, we will arrive to ports in the afternoon and not disembark, like leave the port until the following morning. You are able to spend your afternoon and evening as you please. We can help you arrange excursions, meals, etc. if requested. And you can also add pre or post trips onto this. So you could come into Croatia even earlier than the one night that's already included, or maybe you want to go to Italy or Greece or something before or after you leave Croatia, and we can accommodate book for that as well. And there's no fee for adding this service on to come in early, stay later, or come in somewhere else, before the trip. Is September a good time for Croatia? And yes, this is what we call the shoulder season in the travel industry. So you're going to see lower crowds for a more enjoyable experience, but the water is still great. The weather is still great. The kids will have already gone back to school, and you're just going to have a more enjoyable time with it not being as jam-packed as maybe in July.
Right.
So will the water still be warm? Yes, it will still be excellent for swim stops. Don't worry about that. I know we touched on this again, but I'm just going to reiterate from anybody about motion. These charters, we are very close to land. We're not in the open sea. We're also only traveling at 7-8 knots, which is give or take 10 miles per hour. Like we could all probably walk faster than that. Like I already mentioned, I'll have my Mary Poppins bag of drowsy, non-drowsy motion sickness medication. We'll have access to other foods that also help. Do I need euros? Yes. You can purchase your euros or do exchange at your bank in the US, or you can also exchange once you arrive. But Visa and MasterCard credit cards are preferred for additional shopping and payments at restaurants and on board for your bar tab, as I mentioned. How many crew members? There are 9. And we also have, like I said, the cruise director. So onboard concierge, like it's going to be high touch service. Can I choose the cabin ship? Yes, but it is first come, first serve basis. We already have some filled. If you get motion sickness, book early and choose a lower cabin. You can email me your selection once we start chatting about it. And if you want 2 beds for sure separated, so if your 2 sisters coming, just let me know, because there are some that are separated. Do we have to purchase insurance? Mandatory? No, I can't make it mandatory, but you really need to purchase it so it covers you with 100% refund. All money paid me goes directly to the yacht, and whether the yacht sails or not, like it still has to be paid for, right? So if you have to cancel before final payment, your deposit can then be claimed through an insurance company. And like I said, it's because the charter costs a certain amount, and any money paid toward it will already be locked in toward that week. So cancel for any reason policies are pricing usually recommended, right? And if you don't want the cancel for any reason, then a good covered reason policy, we can provide a quote for. But either way, we will be providing you a quote and highly, highly, highly encourage it, not just for protecting your investment, but for medical things. Because like I said, what happens on vacation, life happens. Will you be spoiled on this trip? Absolutely, of course. No one actually asked this, but I'm just throwing it in there. Plus, we have more surprises and treats for you all to come. You are so, so, so excited to take care of you. Like Michael mentioned, they want to serve you. They want to care for you. They want to show you their beautiful country. Plus connect you with new friends and take you across the sea and see all these stunning places and just have this trip that you will remember and cherish those memories with the people that you love. Of course, I'm always about making like my clients happy, but I just wanted to share this like brief testimonial from another Jayco traveler about her Croatia yacht experience. And she said, "I think I speak for everyone that traveled with us. This was a vacation of a lifetime. It's impossible to put the experience into words, but the people, the food, the culture, the landscape, the yacht, the water, without a doubt, it's the best vacation value you'll ever take. The price versus what you get, hands down, it wins worlds over." With that, like, I just want to say that we have people going for 3 years in a row. We've done this every season. This is something that people love and enjoy, and it's like impossible that you couldn't have the best experience. So I know I just keep saying, Michael said it, it's about the experience, and it really, really, truly is because, like you said, if you haven't done it, you just you can't understand until you're there and you're living it. It's just remarkable.
I think listen, you did a great job there, and you covered those questions and answers perfectly. I think the other thing that is hard for people to understand is that, the ship is right there at the port. So it's not like you have to get off, you got to wait for the ship to come back a few hours later. You could go shopping, you could come back, you could hang on the ship for a drink, you could go off again, come back. It's there. It's your space. So the experience in that sense also is so liberating because you don't have to do everything at once. You get to choose your pace. And I think that's what people love about it the most, is that they have, all these things are included, and all they need to do is figure out what they're going to do with their time. That's really what it comes down to. And you have a lot of choices. Listen, life is about choices, right? Money doesn't make you happy, but money gives you choices, and choices are what make us happy, having choices. And that's what this experience does for the entire week. It gives you choices. And that's the greatest value I think you can get.
Absolutely. And I think that's what makes a vacation is doing what you want with your time off and not being stuck somewhere. You have the variety. And, I know a lot of people, September is when you can travel because of schedules. And, a lot of people are hesitant about doing the Caribbean or the Bahamas because of crazy storms that happen, hurricanes. So this is a great way to get to travel, experience something new. And, having Hunter's expertise, I mean, she can be the first to tell you with this hurricane coming through over the last week, she has spent countless hours on the phone for her clients around the globe, making sure that they could still get to their cruises, get to their European travel, whatever it was. And this is a great way to have somebody who's traveling with you, who's invested in that, like, completely turnkey travel experience. And if you are a Disney cruiser who is looking to do something a little bit different, try something new, this is an amazing, I mean, the value alone is great, but like the fact that you get to travel to all of these great places too. Oh my gosh, it just sounds like the perfect way to spend next September. So, Hunter, is there anything else that you wanted to include? Michael, anything else that we wanted to touch on?
No, I think it provided a lot of information. What I would say is that if you have more questions, definitely reach out to Hunter. These should spur a lot of questions for you. And if you'd understand that, what you're seeing is just the tip of the iceberg in terms of what you're going to experience. So ask the questions.
Yeah. And I have so much more information that we were just able to share in like brief bullet points here. But if you want the full brochure, my FAQs, and the full list of inclusions, the walking tour of the ship, the video of the renovations and refurbishments, please send me an email. It's hunter@jcotravel.com. And I am happy to send that over. You can shoot me a message on Facebook too if that's easier. I will also be sharing a Canva link to this brochure with the link of the video if you need to refer back. And I'll drop my email in that as well. But other than that, I think we covered it. I really hope that you guys appreciated this exclusive maritime experience, because at the end of the day, we're all here because we love cruising, whether that's with Disney or other cruise lines. And this is, this is still cruising. It's just in a very unique way. And I think that as somebody who loves Disney Cruise Line and the service, I wanted to try cruising with that same level of service somewhere else because I've done the Caribbean, the Bahamian cruises, the Alaska cruise. Disney's been doing the same itineraries for so long with the new addition of the French Polynesia. That us, like Rebecca, that have done so many, we still want to keep going back, but this is an excellent opportunity to get that same level of experience, but in a new destination. And that's one of the main reasons I wanted to share this with you guys, because a lot of people don't even know, they have no clue that this is even an option for them.
I was going to say, this just sounds amazing. And, 2025 is going to be here before we know it. So if you guys are thinking about your travel plans for next year, get in touch with Hunter. This is, like we've been saying, a once in a lifetime opportunity. There's so many surprises waiting for you once you board, but this just sounds like a dream come true vacation. So that is the link to her page on the DCL community site. Just a reminder here, her planning services are free for you to utilize. So she's put together this amazing trip. All you have to do is pay for the trip, and it's that easy. You get to enjoy it from there. So if you guys have any questions, reach out to her. I will get the link to her page on the DCL community website in the comments again for everybody as well. But thank you both so much for joining us tonight, and we will see all y'all on board real soon. Bye, guys.
Thank you.